Hi, welcome. It's always a pleasure to be with all of you learning together. And the thing is that I hope all of you are doing is really taking this teaching and applying it to your life. At least use it to observe the world, to see if what the Torah is true. Because again, the reason why I'm into the Torah is because I have analyzed the information and I have seen pretty much everything I have learned. I've seen it in either myself or in other people or who people I love or close to me. It is true. But again, if you apply these principles, God principles, it will change your life. So today we're going to discuss about wealth. And for you to understand how vague, fleeing, as they say, easy come, easy go, really money has wings. The Torah says money has wings, even though it comes, but it flees your hand. All it takes is one event and it's all gone. You could be rich for 10, 20 years and one simple event removes it. But again, people base their entire, or most people base their life in chasing something that has wing, that is not guaranteed, that's going to be around and you can count on. Money is not something that you can count on. Certainly, it's not wealth, because again, people have been rich and lost the money, and people have been poor and gained it, and back and forth. So as you can see, it is fleeing. So today's story is about this man, this rich man, because he was greedy, and then he was told that this poor man will end up taking his wealth from him. But again, he was being punished in a sense of losing, because again, he was cheap. He didn't want to share the wealth. And that's what happened with people who have money. They don't want to share their wealth, because again, money means you have been designated as someone that was going to use that money to help the poor, to help other people. It's not yours, but you've been given the authority to delegate, to monitor, and to distribute the wealth accordingly. So this man decided, I'm not going to do it. Even though God gave me this money, I'm going to keep it for myself. So he was told, because it was this beggar that came to his house, was asking for money, charity, and he didn't want to give. And it was told, because he have reached a point where the money would no longer stay in his possession, he would lose it. This is what a rabbi told him. So he says, you know what? I don't care what these rabbis says, these holy men, I'm going to hold on to this money. No one's taking it from me. So I'm smart enough, I'm a genius, because I made the money, therefore no one can take it unless I allow them to. So in order to do that, what he has done, he took all his possession, real estate, investment, money in the bank. He took jewelry, everything he had. He went out and bought a diamond worth $3 million, because that was the value of all the asset he had. He sold everything and purchased a diamond that was worth all the asset, which was $3 million. So he says, to make sure this man is never going to get my money, he purchased that diamond and he sewed it onto his hat. Into his hat. He had a hat and he wore it on top of his head. So every day he was going on with his business, and he had this $3 million diamond sewed inside the sole of the hat. So one day, of course, he said, I outsmart this holy man. It's been a couple of months now. It's been a year or two. I still have my possession. I still have my value of the diamond, which is worth $3 million. This man is never going to get this money from me. Again, that's the thing about people. They think they can outsmart God. They think they're bigger than God. They think that their life can turn out the way they design it. And if you look back in your life, not one person is going to tell you their life turned out the way they wanted. And I'm one of those person as well. Because again, the future is not ours. We don't know what it will be. But the one thing for sure, nobody has control over their life. All we have is choice, decision. Do I go left or right? Circumstances come and I have to make a decision. Do I go left or right? So this man made a decision. He's going to take this money and he's going to put into this diamond, where he's going to keep it with him all the time, where nobody will be able to touch his money. So as he was walking home one day, a strong wind came by and blew the hat off his head. And the hat fell into a lake on a stream, and he saw the hat float away. He ran and ran, tried to catch up, but of course he could not, and the hat sunk to the bottom and float away. Now at one point he was upset, but listen to what he said. He said, okay, I may not have the money or the diamond, my wealth anymore. Neither is this poor man. He's not going to get either. So either way, I still win. Because the holy man said to me, he's going to end up with my money. Well, guess what? Neither one of us have it. I don't have it. He doesn't have it. And what happened, a couple of weeks went by. It was Shabbat. This holy man, or this man, the holy man who told him about this particular Jew, he was celebrating Shabbat. And Shabbat is a day that the Jew would spend a lot of money to buy, the most expensive food they can buy to celebrate. It's a day of God, a day that God rested, and the Jews rested as well. But they have a big celebration just to kind of give you an idea why he bought the best. So he went to a fish market, and he wanted the best fish. Even though this man was broke, he only had $5 left in his possession. And he took the whole $5 to buy that one fish because he was so happy to celebrate the day God created and the day God rested, and God commanded him to rest as well. But he wanted this to be grand, but all he had was $5. So he went to the market and he says, give me your best fish. And of course, the fish he bought was $5. So this man took this fish home and of course preparing to cook this fish. And when he opened up the fish, inside the fish was that diamond that this rich man thought that the poor man would never end up getting the possession of this money, of his money. So this rich man became wealthy overnight. So what is the moral of the story? There's a couple points. One, you will never outdo God. It will never happen. Two, if you decide not to follow God, you're going to lose. Three, those who trust in God will eventually see the day, the light, they will come out of the storm. But again, what happened is this: because we don't know the rules, the way God run this world, because we're under the impression it's all physical, there's no God, there's nothing but what we see, and everything else seems to have its own, in terms of its own power. You see your friends, they do things, you're thinking that's their own power, their own intelligence, that's making their life go the way it goes. So we see different forces in the world, thinking that every one of these forces is individual or apart from God, and God has no control. But the thing is, there's nothing but God, and he's running this world, and he's running your life. That's why no one can say their life turned out exactly the way they wanted. And if it didn't turn out the way you wanted, it's because, again, you thought you were your own God, and guess what? Your life is the testimony to show you that you are not your own God. It's going to turn out the way God wants it to be. So this man, as again, later he discovered that the poor man that was said that would end up becoming wealthy through him, it did happen. This poor man became wealthy within that week when he purchased the diamond, and the information got to him. But of course, there's nothing he can say about it, because again, once you've been given such grace, blessing to have money, but to share it with other people, and you decide you're going to keep it all to you, it's just a matter of time where that money will ruin you, and it will flee, and that day will come, it will come to an end where you will no longer be the one that God has given and trusted for you to look over this money, and now you're nothing more than a man who has regret. And if you're smart enough, most people probably can't even tie the two together, thinking it's bad luck or omen or whatever the case may be, or they made bad decision, is why they became broke. You became broke because you didn't do what God wants you to do with that money, was to share and help others who were less fortunate than you. God bless you. I'll see you next time.